Hello, and welcome to another edition to All or Not According to Jack. We are in the wee hours of the morning of February 3rd, 2022. And I'd just like to start off by wishing my wife, Susan, a very happy birthday. It is her birthday today, and we will celebrate at some point in the evening later tonight. But let's get into the content of what we're talking about today. So let's go right to it. Today we are going to talk about Jethro Tull again. So everybody remembers this picture that I took from back in 2012 when I saw Ian do the Thick as a Brick 1 and Thick as a Brick 2 concert. Great show that was. But today we are going to talk about the new album that they just released. And where is it? Oh, there it is. The Zealot Gene. So last Friday, the long-awaited Zealot Gene came out. And if everybody remembers that I had a rant last week because I couldn't find the album at a place called Looney Tunes out in West Babylon, but I did finally find it at a place that I didn't think to look. There's a store in Roosevelt Field Mall in Garden City called Newberry Comics. They happen to have it. So here it is. And right off the bat, opening it up, here's your CD. And there's some writing on the wall. Looks like it's very biblical in nature. But let's pull out the insert. I'm not going to get too much into the lyrical content, but I will share a paragraph with you once I show you these pictures. I do like this artwork, by the way. This is a cathedral. There are some religious themes in here. Of course, there's some studio footage. Ian with his flute, his heavy metal instrument. And then there's track notes for pretty much each and every song. If you buy this, you'll be able to read his thought process for every song. And then, of course, the rest of the way, there are the lyrics. And on the back cover, Jesus on the cross. So anyway, I'm going to read to you just the first paragraph to give you an idea of Ian's state of mind and how the recording came about. So the Zealot Gene. At last, the new collection of songs you have not really been waiting for. LOL. I threw that in. I started work on this project back in 2017, would you believe? Exclamation point. But concert touring and other project commitments like the biographical Ballad of Jethro Tull book, which I have, reissues, box sets, and the transcribing and creation of the silent singing lyric book meant that I only managed to complete 4 tracks between the tours of 2018 and 19 and the COVID year of 2020. So I'm going to skip over the second paragraph. Short third paragraph, these songs take strong emotions as ideas to expand upon. There are moments of loyalty, compassion, tolerance, and love. But then there are also contrasting tales of rage, vengeance, envy, greed, and treachery. So, to the song content themselves. So I just first want to state that it's pretty much, it's in here. So he does list, on page 2, he lists the band. So it's pretty much the same band that he's had for Thick as a Brick 2, released in 2012, and Homo Erectus, released in 2014. So we have a lineup of Ian, of course, David Goodyear on bass guitar, John O'Hara covers keyboards, Hammond organ, piano, accordion, which I love his accordion playing, but we'll get to that. Florian Opal on guitar, but then we know that Florian left the band, and they brought in another guitarist, Joe Parrish James, who participated on track 11 in Brief Visitation. And then on drums, Scott Hammond. So now you have to ask yourself, Thick as a Brick 2 and Homo Erectus, why did he release those as Ian Anderson albums? Meanwhile, he released this album as a Jethro Tull album, when clearly there's no Martin Bear, there's no John Evan and any of the great bassists of the past, or Barrymore Barlow, the drummer, John Evan, now Dee Palmer. Why? That's what I'd like to know. And I haven't really been able to get a good answer. I would have thought that Thick as a Brick 2 would have been released as a Jethro Tull album, and this could actually pass as an Ian Anderson album. I don't get it. Maybe he thought that he needed the Jethro Tull name to sell this particular album at this particular date. Drink break. But in any event, so let's talk about the songs. So right off the bat is the song Mrs. Tibbets. And that song actually is my highlight on this album. You know, it starts right off with some synth. Excuse me. There's some similarities to Homo Erectus. You're going to find that throughout this album. There are some similarities. Nice, crunchy rhythm guitar, which I was not expecting. I really enjoyed it. Great flute in the middle section, some hard rock, and yeah, no question. So I ranked all of these songs to try and give the album an overall rating. So this song, Mrs. Tibbets, I actually gave a 4.5 out of 5. So it is my favorite. Second song, Jacob's Tales, brings back the harmonica. I don't think there was harmonica since New Day Yesterday, going back to the stand-up album. Sounds great. Gives it a bit of a country feel. It's short. It's only about 2 minutes long. That was a definite acoustic highlight for me. So that's 2 highlights. Mrs. Tibbets, Jacob's Tales. Mine is the Mountain. Starts with piano and flute. It's the main vehicle for the song. It's a moody piece that picks up a little at about the 2:30 mark, but not one of the stronger cuts for me. Then we have the, what the heck is it? The title track, the Zealot Gene. This song kind of reminds me of the song Enter the Uninvited on Homo Erectus, where he kind of goes into his we didn't start the fire Billy Joel spiel, where he's like throwing word plays at you to, you know, to conjure up times of the past. He doesn't do it as much, but there's a little enough of it to kind of remind me of that song. There's you know, the flute has a little bit of a whimsical sound to it. Nice organ accents in the chorus and some of the interludes. So that got a 3.75 for me. Pretty good. Shoshana Sleeping, that's a song that was probably the most familiar song on this album, being that Ian released that online early just to kind of get a buzz going and give people a feel for the fact that an album was coming out. Middle of the road, 3.5 on that one. Sad City Sisters, another acoustic tune. I got to tell you, the thing that I really enjoyed about this song is John O'Hara coming in with the accordion. Makes it great. I enjoyed it. 4.25, so that's my third highlight. Sad City Sisters. Baron Beth, Wild Desert John, a mid-rocker. Not much else to say. The Betrayal of, let me move my chair. I was scraping there. The Betrayal of Joshua Kind, mid-rocker. Nice crunchy riff in the middle section. I gave that one a 4. So that's my fourth highlight. Where Did Saturday Go? Song number 9. Very nice acoustic tune. Dreary, yet very musically sound. Actually, I think this song could pass for one of Jethro Tull's older songs from the 70s, or acoustic tunes that, could have been found on Minstrel in the Gallery or War Child or one of those albums. Very good song. I do have to tell you, as the album's winding down, you have 3 songs at the end: Three Loves 3, In Brief Visitation, both acoustic numbers, and The Fisherman of Ephesus. Well, Three Loves 3 and In Brief Visitation, for me, it's starting to sound a little repetitive. I think the chord progression is a little better in Brief Visitation, but at this point, the album, I think, is starting to drag a little bit. Fisherman of Ephesus picks up a little bit, but again, there's some similarities to Homo eroticus, and I don't really think he's breaking that much new ground. So overall, this album, I'm going to rate it a 3.5 out of 5. It's not a bad album. It's a pretty good album. I just would not put it on the level of anything that Jethro Tull has done in the 70s, or in my top 10 that I presented with Aaron Kupperberg about a week or so ago. So I have to say that I'm very thankful that, my top 3, Kiss, Judas Priest, Jethro Tull, that one or two of them are still putting albums out, which I think is awesome. We've got to come to the realization that someday they're not going to be putting albums out anymore. So we have to cherish this and enjoy it, while we can. I can say that the instrumentation still great. Ian still plays a mean flute. Great job with that. When Florian Opal was involved with a couple of songs, the nice crunchy riffs on particular Mrs. Tibbetts, and what was the other song that he mentioned that I mentioned? Rocker. Oh, The Betrayal of Joshua Kind. You know what? I would have liked some more of that electric guitar, a la Martin Bear, which, as Aaron and I said, that really helped make the early Tull albums. That I think that would have improved this a bit. So there you have it. Great, pretty decent album. One last thing that I'd like to talk about. So I know that there was some name dropping today of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, mentioning that there are some candidates for this year's voting. We'll I'm sure we're going to have a rant to talk about in time, so I'm not going to get into too many of the groups. I know there's one that I'd like to see get voted in. I know there's one my son would like to see get voted in. I think it would be awesome if they both did, and so we could go witness it in person like I did back in 2016. But through all this, Jethro Tull, still no mention. Come on, guys. Get with the freaking program. These guys still making albums in 2022. An incredible body of music back in the 70s and part of the 80s and 90s as well. these guys need to freaking be in there. So Jan Winter, I'm talking to you. Get it, pull your head out of your ass and get these guys in there. That's my spiel. Thank you for watching. Add your comments to the comments section. If you like my content, please subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And I hope you have a nice day and have a pleasant tomorrow. Bye, everybody.